Good morning football. We're live in New York City. Peter Schrager, Nick Burleson, Kyle Brent. My name's Kay Adams. It is October 4th, and Week 5 kicks off tonight, hours away up there in Foxytown. Colts and Pats, a classic AFC rivalry. So let's get right to it with the lead. Thanks. Mike Giardi, hopefully he got his cinnamon checks early this morning because you are up early at that stadium. The Patriots got off to a rough start this season, rougher than we would expect, and would have loved to have Gronk out there on the field. Speaking of which, I hear you have an update on the Gronkster.
Yes, you will see Rob Gronkowski tonight. Of course, has been questionable with that ankle, had not practiced on Monday or Tuesday, was limited Wednesday, but he is good to go for this evening, as is Julian Edelman, which means for the first time since November 27th of 2016, Patriots at the Jets, the Pats will have both of those players on the field. That's a span of 31 games without one or both of those guys. That's a long time for the heart and soul of your offense, of course, with Tom Brady to not be together. Really slow down the Patriots all that much, winning a Super Bowl in 2016, getting to another one last year. But they'll have those two guys back together again, and Tom Brady has been very excited all week long. Meanwhile, the poor Indianapolis Colts, they don't have good news on the injury front. T.Y. Hilton has been ruled out of the game. Of course, that's Andrew Luck's best receiver. Jack Doyle, his favorite tight end, also out of the game. Marlon Mack will not be active as well. So he's going to have to make do with some lesser pieces and try to get it done in Foxborough and try to get it done against the Patriots. For the first time in his career, he is 0-5, Kay, against New England.
0-5 and banged up. Plenty of guys with a lot to prove in this one. Appreciate you, Mike Giardi, all your work leading up to this game on Thursday Night Football. Plenty of storylines with this rivalry back here at the breakfast table. But who has the most to prove in this matchup?
I got to go with Andrew Luck. And Mike just hit it. He's 0-5 all time against Brady. Every time they're on national TV, they lost the game where the Patriots scored 59 points. And we think about all these. Jonas Gray ran all over them. This is the rivalry that we remember.
Jonas Gray game.
Jonas Gray game was Sunday night against the Colts.
My name is Jonas.
The alarm clock didn't go off the next day. But anyway, you know, I go to Joe Montana. Joe Montana was 0-3 all time against John Elway. Shows up in a Super Bowl and beats the brakes off him and just lights him up. And we never questioned the Montana Elway, who had the more dominant hand in that one. Luck needs to have one of these games at some point. He's already getting to the point in his career where you're beyond 2 games, 3 games, 4 games. Aaron Rodgers plays Matt Stafford twice every year. Aaron Rodgers is 10-2 against Matt Stafford. That's a dominant situation.
Yes, it is.
Brady, more dominant against Andrew Luck. They only play once a year, if at all then. Andrew Luck, I know you're undermanned today. I know you're coming off an injury and you don't have the same roster. Win a game. Win a game. Beat Brady. Go do it on national TV.
I think if he's going to do it, it's going to be Eric Ebron. I think Eric Ebron has the most to prove. This is a guy, he took Odell, he took him before Odell in the NFL draft, taking before Aaron Donald, a guy who a lot of people think is a bust. He didn't do much with the Lions. He didn't perform to his potential. He, low-key, is having a breakout year. He has touchdowns in 3 of his 4 games. Reich's using him the way apparently he needs to be used, and he has some sort of chemistry with his quarterback, Andrew Luck. No T.Y. Hilton there, no Marlon Mack, no Jack Doyle. Ebron, you're up. What do you, Ebron?
Ebron. We rebranded him.
We rebranded him. I forgot. Well, listen, that rebrand is working for the Indianapolis Colts, and they've got to go up against him with a fresh start under bright lights, national audience, to let them know what kind of a breakout year you're having.
And guys rebrand for different reasons. Eric Ebron in Detroit wasn't looked at as a pass-catching dominant force. Now he's trying to prove to be that. Another guy who needs to rebrand for a different reason, Julian Edelman. I feel like for what it's worth, a guy who's been dominant, has the jewelry in the jewelry box. We know him as the clutch individual that comes up with the big catches for Tom Brady. But the fact that he's been sitting out, he's been waiting on the sideline, and it was due to something that he did. Now people are sitting back saying, we've had some struggles, and we struggled without you. Now that you're here, bring that element back. And I can't wait to see him, not just pass catching. I want to see the balance of the offense, but more importantly, I'm going to check him out in the run blocking. Like, he is an absolute dog. So I'm looking forward to seeing Julian Edelman, like, leave his mark on this game. It'll be quarter after quarter, and it's going to be almost every other play where you'll say, is that Julian being involved in it? Whether he's a decoy, scoring a touchdown, catching a big 3rd down, or putting somebody on their back and the running back is running past him.
I'm into that, and I'm into the Colts head coach because someday I think there's going to be a movie about Frank Reich, and the guy who should play him is James Marsden because he specializes in being the nice guy with the heart of gold who gets picked by they get picked the sexy guy, the Gosling. It always goes that way. Frank Reich's story has gone on this way for decades. You go back to college. He's at Maryland. He shows up, and Boomer Esiason's the coolest guy in the country, and the left hand and the blonde hair and everything like that, and he sits behind him on the bench. Everyone remembers that Frank Reich came in, was down 31-0 to Miami and made a big comeback. Frank Reich only came in that game because a quarterback named Stan Gelbaugh had to leave the game. Reich came off the bench. He's never the cool guy. And then you get to Buffalo. He's behind Jim Kelly, again, the coolest guy in the world. Jim Kelly and the K-gun and everything. And he comes back and he makes the incredible comeback against the Oilers, and everyone remembers that, but he's always the second choice. Then there's another chapter in his career, which is amazing, where they had something called an expansion draft. We have the Panthers and the Jaguars are new teams. You get to pick some players. The Panthers take Frank Reich to be their quarterback. This is great. I finally get to be the lead. I get to be the Gosling. Sure enough, they take Kerry Collins, number 5, over in the draft. Kerry Collins was the Gosling. And then you get into the coaching ranks. He goes through, he puts in his time, and he's here, he's college, and he's Philadelphia. And then the Indianapolis Colts, they want Josh McDaniels to be the head coach. They want Gosling. McDaniels the Gosling. Sure enough, McDaniels says, no, I'm out. We'll take Frank Reich. He is the second choice, as he has been his whole career, to come in. But every time he does it, come back against Miami, come back against the Oilers. And now he's getting the Colts to believe. And I think it's so perfect for him that not only is he coming in against McDaniels, he is coming in a week in which everything about him was questioned. The decision-making he made was called idiotic. Everyone on Twitter wanted to crush him for going for it on 4th down and overtime. Let me tell you something. Frank Reich's life has been 4th down and overtime, and he has converted it every single time. I love what he's doing. It is almost biblical tale from Maryland all the way here tonight to Foxborough, and he has so much to prove. The best scenes of the movie are yet to come.
Nice.
Very well said.
I feel
Reich
passionate.
And Ebron and Edelman and Luck. Those are the guys with the most to prove. Let's keep talking about Luck, though, because it is time for Throwdown Thursday.
Let's do it.
Kicking off tonight, the Colts headed to Foxborough to take on those Pats. So I've got some matchups for you. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, first up, they have faced off 5 times, including the postseason. Andrew Luck, 0-5 against Brady and company. Who prevails tonight? Round 1, Andrew Luck, Tom Brady, fight.
What you got, Strays?
I got Brady.
You got Brady.
Okay. I want to see Luck give it his all, but, the numbers are there. And, again, use this as bulletin board material. No Marlon Mack, no T.Y. Hilton, no Jack Doyle.
Their fault.
You're expecting Chester Rogers and Zach Pascal,
Naeem
Hines to light up the Patriots in Foxborough, and then I guess you haven't been watching football for 20 years. I think the Patriots take care of business.
Yeah, shut up, Naeem. I would say TB12 and the Pats. I look at what Tom's been working with. It's like having an outfit that really isn't complete. Like, you got some nice pants, but you don't have the shoes. Or you got a nice top, but your coat doesn't really go. But finally, he's going to the club. He's going to the party tonight. He's going in the velvet rope, and he's looking in the mirror, and he's like, you know what? The shoes match. The pants are good. I got the shirt with the jacket. This outfit is perfect. Just spray cologne, and I'm good. I think right now he finally has everything good. The outfit is put together. Tom's about to show up and show out.
Edelman is his mushroom belt.
That's it. Got to coordinate.
You have to. The jacket, yes. I think the Patriots are going to get him tonight. I just want to take a quick second to just say it. Colts Patriots gets me going. I mean, I know that there's Steelers Ravens and Chiefs Raiders, Bears Packers and all that. This rivalry is incredible, and during the Peyton Brady years and even the Brady Luck years, there's been some unbelievable finishes that we never would have seen. The Colts going in the snow in Foxborough and getting knocked off, and it hasn't all been Patriots. I remember Marlon Jackson intercepting Brady in the title game to get to the Super Bowl. Do you remember 4th and 2 over there to Kevin Falk and Melvin Bullitt, and Belichick got dragged for a week for going for it on 4th down? Crazy things happen in Patriots Colts. So all the things on the surface say Patriots big. Just watch. Things get nuts in this matchup.
Big day for Edelman. Big day for Sony Michel. I agree with Willie McGinnis. Why not just run all over the Colts if it's worked for them in the past? I love that you brought up the Jonas Gray game, which I totally...
So many.
It left my memory until you just brought it up. So 5 losses for Andrew Luck against the Patriots. 3 of them at Gillette. The closest one they had to a win was a 21-point deficit. So they haven't come close to beating the Patriots in New England. Can they somehow pull it out tonight? You'll have to watch on NFL Network at 8 p.m. Eastern. All right, on Sunday, we cannot wait to see this Jags-Chiefs situation. We absolutely cannot wait because you have the #1 scoring offense taking on the #1 scoring defense. So I'm giving you this round. Number 2, Jalen Ramsey up against Tyreek Hill. Cheetah versus, I don't even know what you'd call Jalen.
The jungle.
The jungle. Cheetah versus the jungle. What do you got?
That's what that defense for the Jaguars. They're the jungle. I would say this, the jungle is going to win because it's dense.
It's dense. There's so much of it.
There's so much of it.
He's got that machete, dude.
He does. He's up there knocking down. But I would say this, offensively, Tyreek, I don't believe he's going to have a big game.
Yeah.
This is going to be one of the first games where you're not going to see that big splash 70-yard play or even him catch a ball and get those yards at the catch because you got guys who speed in the middle of the field and those guys on the back end that aren't afraid to hit. I do believe he's going to have a return in this game. if they decide to punt to him. Jags, don't punt to him, though. But he's not going to have a huge game offensively, but Tyreek will have a good game.
The scary thing about this Chiefs offense is that Andy Reid has this incredibly intricate playbook. We saw it with Alex Smith, and Alex Smith ran it perfectly and was incredible with it. When the things break down, Mahomes gets even better, and Tyreek Hill's the guy that he goes to. There was a play last week against the Broncos where Tyreek Hill ran 60 yards before the snap. He went all the way around it. It's like they have chess pieces and everyone else is playing checkers. Tyreek Hill, and I'll take Tyreek Hill over every cornerback because they'll find a way to use him. Guys, he played running back in college. There's the facts are out of control of how good he can be. I'm going Tyreek over Jalen.
All right. When you said the jungle, I'm thinking of Upton Sinclair, and I'm thinking that Tyreek is going to be the droppings in the sausage. It gets nasty.
Real ugly.
I'll put it this way.
Urban plight.
It's terrible. I think Jalen's incredible because we've talked just in a few weeks about him guarding Gronk and guarding Tyreek, where it's about 70 pounds and 7 inches difference. However, the thing that really sticks out to me was in the offseason when Jalen was talking and GQ and all that, he kept saying that the Niners beat them because of scheme. That was a scheme thing. Andy Reid will scheme your ears off, dude. You want to scheme from the Niners? That's great. Those Chiefs will scheme you to death. So I think the cheetah gets through the jungle and has the sausage.
Sammy Watkins
Who's also on the Chiefs,
practice.
by the way.
If he's out, does that mean good things for the cheetah or bad things? If Sammy Watkins is in not 100%.
It's a bad thing because the more that they're full strength, the more the defenses have to focus on. Sammy's a beast. He's a great route runner.
Yeah.
So when you have Sammy on the field, it makes everybody else's job easier.
He was back at practice. All right, finally, let's go to Pittsburgh. The Falcons facing off against the Steelers. I called this a loser-go-home game yesterday.
Yeah.
Both offenses clicking. They have great options when it comes to catching the ball, but only one can be the winner in Throwdown Thursday. Let's see it right now, guys. Who has a better day? Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley and Mohamed Sanu, or AB Juju and Vance Stiff-Arm McDonald?
I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons wide receivers. Calvin Ridley's on fire, and which means Julio Jones is about to heat up. And Mohamed Sanu, one of the best number 2s in the game. I don't see the same type of consistency with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm with Nate. The Steelers defense, I'm not sure if any trio can't get going on that, and this trio's been unstoppable. The Bengals have a really good defense, and the Falcons lit them up. I don't see anyone stopping this Atlanta trio. Even if they're losing these games, they're lighting up the sky. I'm going with the Falcons.
The Atlanta trio, you mean Calvin and Friends? That's what they're calling them, Calvin and Company. Can we just talk about the ascension of this player that we are now including Vance McDonald in the trio for Pittsburgh? Where did that come from? He's really good. And it's like you would have thought it would have been Jesse James. It's Juju, AB, and Vance is the cover guy, which is why I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. Juju's been incredible. AB's best is credible. AB's best is yet to come. And Vance McDonald will end your life right in front of you like that. I'm sorry. Don't when you're hot, you're hot.
Vance McDonald, listen, I have Trey Burton in fantasy. Picked up Vance McDonald. He's 174 yards and a touchdown over the last 2 weeks against the Falcons.
Okay, we're also focusing on the stiff arms. He's been producing like crazy.
Did you hear me? 174 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's been putting up huge numbers. I go Vance. I'm into it.
Great stuff. I will take the Falcons just because I believe in the Steelers defense a lot less than the Falcons defense. Okay. So I think they might have a better day. All right, classic AFC rivalry taking center stage tonight. Andrew Luck and the Colts taking on Tom Brady and those Patriots. It's Colts. It's Patriots, and when it's on,
it is on.
Thursday Night Football tonight at 8 on NFL Network, on Fox, and streaming on the Prime. All right, can't go a day without talking Lev Bell, guys. I can't believe we just spent a whole segment with talking Steelers and did not mention
or Vance.
Le'Veon Bell. Now, other running backs around the league are weighing in. Take a listen to Melvin Gordon on the Rap Sheet and Friends podcast with Ian Rappaport.
I agree with it, to be honest, because, man, we touched the ball, 400 sometimes last year, and then to get the ball this year and they give it to him 400 more times, you never know what can happen. As you seen with Earl, man, it's just a dangerous game we play. He got to go get what he need to get, man, and he's setting the bar high for us, for the younger backs after us. So, I'm down in this corner for whatever he do because, whatever he get, is help, benefiting us and helping the younger backs in the future.
Let's welcome in the Rap Sheet, the podcast wonder here. What is your take on what Melvin Gordon had to say to you?
It really struck me, Kay, just how much solidarity there is at the running back position. And, in my talk with Melvin Gordon, there was that clip you played right there. We really stood up pretty hard for Le'Veon Bell, who, of course, has raised some eyebrows and received criticism from his own team for stepping away, but you talk to other running backs like Melvin Gordon, and he gets it. It's a business. And from his perspective, Le'Veon Bell's main responsibility here is to protect his own business. As he mentioned, he could get, 400 carries this year, something that might hurt him in free agency. He's got a family. He's got people he needs to support. In the eyes of Melvin Gordon, he supports Bell, staying away, making sure that he is in the best position possible to be a strong free agent in the 2019 offseason. It was also interesting, by the way, through the course of that conversation, how much he loves watching some of the other running backs. He's going to face Marshawn Lynch this week. He said that's a style that he can get behind, something that he has watched for years. This guy is team running back, and there was a lot of talk about that on the podcast.
Ian, let's keep talking running backs. A couple of those guys have been banged up, dealing with injuries. What's the latest on both Leonard Fournette and Devontae Freeman?
We'll start with Leonard Fournette. Not good news here coming out of Jacksonville. Did not practice yesterday, and very quickly, Doug Marrone stepped to the podium and announced that Leonard Fournette would not be playing this Sunday, which is not a surprise. He re-aggravated the hamstring that had kept him out a couple games. He was out really early in this game. Jaguars had to make do without him. But the fact that they declared him out so early does make you think this could be a multi-game absence. Another running back we're keeping an eye on, Devontae Freeman from the Atlanta Falcons, missed a couple games with a pretty bad knee bruise, something that the Falcons hoped would be just day-to-day, but instead missed several games. He is expected to play on Sunday, so the Atlanta Falcons, who've had really nothing but bad injury news for the last, 4 weeks or so, actually get some good injury news today.
Ian, I just heard from Kyle that you snagged a one-on-one with Bill Belichick on the premiere episode of your podcast. That's pretty amazing, but did he call it like Instapod, Facecast? Like, what was he calling what a podcast is? I don't imagine he listens to many of those.
I wanted to get into it with him just about what ridiculous name he would call it, but he talked really early on what an honor it was to be the first guest, and it was something that was heartfelt for him, so I just didn't want to make fun of it at all, but I wanted to.
I can't wait to hear it. The Instacast.
Crazy, you got Bill Belichick.
The best get you could possibly get.
Bill Belichick.
I thought when he tweeted it, he found like a gym teacher in Ohio named Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
No, it was the real Bill Belichick.
That's
and it was
awesome.
awesome.
That's awesome.
Anyway, it was fun. It was a fun
Impersonating,
conversation.
okay?
No.
Up in Rye.
That's him.
All right, well, download that podcast. Ian Rappaport, great stuff from you. Coming up next, Super Cam is taking on the Giants on Sunday, and he's got a new teammate in a Panthers jersey this week. How will the Panthers perform against Big Blue? We've got the breakdown up next. Also, Edelman back for Brady this week. So how does he impact the Patriots offense? Nate's taking us to school.
Little Burrow lesson coming up next. Edelman to man.
Edelman to man.
Can't find an Edelman.
I am the $5 lunch from DQ, and variety is my modus operandi. That's Latin for new burger, new salad, and strips, all with a DQ Sunday. That's English for Carpe Diem. Because I'm not fast food. I am fan food.
People would ask me in different countries that we traveled, what is your nationality?